What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. And today we are doing our round 25 of the NRL Telstra Premiership tips and some supercar predictions today. And here we go. And it all starts on Thursday night tomorrow. The Cowboys up against the Sharks. North Queensland Cowboys up against an improved Cronulla Southern Sharks. Here's our team list for this evening. Here's our teams. Again, I'm not going through it because I need to go to bed. I've got TAFE tomorrow, so anyway, it is what it is. You know what? I look at the Sharks and I'm looking towards the Sharks here. You know why? Because the Sharks have proven they've improved their defence a bit. They've improved a bit of their attack to get it right, but they're up against Cowboys that have got some points on them. Got some points, and Jeremiah Nanai is back, but I doubt he's playing. But I'm going to go the Sharks in this one. I'm going to go the Sharks in this one. I'm going to go the Sharks by 2. I'm going to go the Sharks. Apparently, they're outsiders for this one, but they should be insiders because the Sharks, they just got a better team at the moment than what the Cowboys have. The Cowboys have got injuries and Val Holmes is out, so that's what's hurt them. Next game, the first game of Friday Night Football, it's the Warriors and the Seagulls in New Zealand at Mount Smart Stadium. Let's have a look. And the Manly Seagulls, they're out of the finals race. They're just going to play for pride now. The Warriors, they're looking to secure their spot inside the top 4 and look to push towards a second place. And here are the lineups if you guys want to have a look. You know what? I'm looking towards the Warriors here. But ideally, this will be a tough game. Really, I reckon it'll be a physical game. I think the Warriors will win this by 2. I think it'll be 22 points to 20. I think Manly have got some points in them. The Warriors' defence the last couple of weeks has not been as up to standard, and that's a good sign going into finals. That you got to have a few games, a couple of good games going into finals, and tough games, and allowing teams to get down there and test your defence going into finals. And I think that's a good sign for the Warriors just to get ready for finals and just show how a good team they are. So I'm going to go the Warriors 22 to 20, and I'm going to go Marcelo Montoya to score the first try for the Warriors. And Friday Night Football, the Parramatta Eels, my Parramatta Eels up against the Sydney Roosters. Now, for the Parramatta Eels, their season is on the line still. They've got to win at least 2 more games to make it into finals. But there is a couple of big outs in this lineup and big ins in this lineup. Mitch Moses is out. That's a huge loss for my books. But he's not a huge loss as in Clint Gutherson. And if he didn't look 100% last week, Parramatta got really hammered last week and against the Broncos. And we said this. I said this. It could have been 50 points put on us by the Broncos, but the Broncos really gave it to us. And geez, they were such a good team to watch, and they were just tearing us apart. It looked like we had numbers and we were really in the contest for the first 20 minutes, and then it all just went to crap for the rest of the game, and with Mitch Moses had to go off in the second half, which basically for the whole second half was just basically summed up our game and summed out the game for us. So we hopefully replacement Dylan Brown can sort them out. Here are the lineups for the Roosters. They got a really good win over the Dolphins last week, 30 points to 14. As for the Parramatta Eels and the Roosters, here we are. There's a bit of missed matches there, but Drew Hutchison at halfback. I thought Sam Walker is set to return. Okay, so he's replacement. So he's a chance of playing. So okay. How's the interchange looking? Sort of decent, I'd say. Where's Jermaine Hopkins? Oh, he's moved in the second row. Okay. So I get it. All right, but some big ins, Mike Acevo and Regan Campbell Gillard are back in, but I'm gonna go the Eels just here, and I reckon we'll win this by 2 because our defence needs a bit of working on, and I think we need to get that right if we want to play finals, and we need to play better if we want to play finals. Because we played like last week, the Roosters again are going to tower us up, so we need to play a bit better. And we're at home. We only lost 3 games at home this season, and honestly, Origin's just messed us up completely. Because before Origin 3, we were on a 7 in a row winning streak. 7 wins in a row. We won 7 in a row. Or something like that. 7 or 8 in a row or something like that. And Freddie's picked Gutherson, Moses and Regan Campbell Gillard, and we got towed out by the Warriors. And he's only used him for 3 minutes. Clint Gutherson. He's only used him for 3 minutes. Anyway, I'm no complainer because I don't want to get in trouble for that. So, don't worry about what I said. But anyway, that's my opinion. But I am going to go the Eels because they need a win. And because we certainly won't beat Penrith on that form. I tell you now, because next week we got the Panthers, so we need to play better. I'm going to go the Eels. 22-20. I'm going to go Regan Campbell Gillard to score the first try. James Tedesco or James or Joseph Wilde to score at any time. Mike Acevo back in the side to score at any time as well. So the Eels 22-20, in my opinion. That is, we don't know what the score's going to be. And first game on Super Saturday, it's the West Tigers up against the Dolphins. And as for the Dolphins, they started really well against the Roosters, and then the second half just went away for them. Now they're going to get some big ins, in for ins for the Dolphins, as you can see on screen. And Tigers are pretty much full strength. Yeah, they're pretty much full strength. Yeah. Honestly, there's a lot of young kids in this Dolphins side compared to last week. No Jesse Bromwich. No Kenny Bromwich. There's a couple of their experienced players out. Valens Stafaro has been dropped to the reserves. No Hamaso W.I. Fado. Why is he out? Why is the Hammer? He must have injured himself or been dropped out of the side. Who knows? No Hammer. I'm going to go the Dolphins, but I think the Tigers will be in it, and I sense an upset coming up. So, but I'm going to go the Dolphins. are going to be a pretty high scoring game, very high scoring game. Even though the Dolphins have got some good defense in them, but they also got some weaknesses in their defense in this instance because they got some players out, and the Tigers are pretty much full strength, and they've been playing some very not consistency as in winning, but have played and been in mostly every game for the back end of the season. And the sad news, Tim Sheen's has been sacked. So now they've got an intern coach in there. I think it would be Benji, but Benji will be the full-time coach going into next year. So there's a bit of disparity over there. But I'm going to go the Dolphins to win. I'm going to be 30 points to 26. A very high-scoring game. I think they'll win by 4. 30 points to 26. I won't be surprised it'll be a blowout either. So, but I am going to go the Dolphins 30 points to 26. Dolphins by 4. They need a win. And they dropped. Wayne Bennett said they've dropped a little bit, but there is plenty of points still scored in this Dolphins. But I'm going to go the Tigers to score first. Because that's the thing they need to get right, the Tigers, is that they can't compete with these big sides. And it's just their discipline is what they need to get right. Their defense is what they need to get right. And they'll be in it. And I'm going to go David Nofaluma to score first. Because he's a great Tigers player for so many years. But I'm going to go the Dolphins 30 points to 26. The next game on Saturday, it's the Gold Coast Titans up against the Penrith Panthers. Well, the Panthers, they're looking to hang on to that minor premiership with the Broncos right on their tail. The Broncos right on their tail, still within a chance of getting the minor premiership. It's so consistent. But the Panthers have got some ins. Jerome Luai is back. Mitch Kenny is back. Luke Garner is back. Spencer Leniu is back. Tyrone Peachy is back. Still no Isaac Tago. As for the Titans, they've got Aaron Clark out. Kieran Foran, obviously, he got injured last week. Tanner Boyd out. Some big outs there for the Titans. Half of their leaders are gone. And Tino is still there. Cleese Harston. They've still got their big, decent forwards, but without your leaders of your halfbacks, Brimson. But they've got one leader back, and that's AJ Brimson. But with Kinney been playing some good footy, I don't know how Brimson will get back in this team. We'll see later. We'll see later in the week if they're going to put Brimson there in the late changes before the game. But we'll see. But I'm going to go the Panthers 13+. I can't see the Titans winning this without Foran or Tanner Boyd there or Aaron Clark. I can't see them there. But they've got some of their forward strike power and AJ Brimson a chance of playing. But without Foran's kicking game and leadership and Tanner Boyd as their main kicker, I can't see the Titans winning this. So I'm going to go the Panthers 13+. I think it'll just be a 50 or 60 flogging to the Titans. But they've got some points in them in the Titans, but I'm going to go Stephen Crichton to score the first try. Brian or Dylan Edwards just put them all down there, to be honest. They're all going to score at some point. Sorry, Titans fans. This week, it's not going to be your great day. I can tell you that. And as for this team, the last game for the Emergency Services Cup. It's the rematch of the 1999 Grand Final of the Storm's first Grand Final victory, which was not stripped. The Dragons and the Storm at Wynn Stadium here in Wollongong. I don't know if tickets are still on sale, but I'm not going to check that at the moment. But anyway, as for the Dragons and the Storm, Lomax is back for them. It's good for them. No outs for them. Yep, no outs for the Storm. That's good. I'm going to go the Storm. 13 plus. But I always say this because the Dragons, I won't be surprised to see if the Dragons compete against the Storm. They're one of the teams that can compete against the Storm, but last year they get hammered 36-0. But I think the Storm have got a bit too much strike power compared to the Dragons. They got some points in the Dragons. There's no issue about that. It's just their consistency of errors, penalties in the last 10 minutes, which cost them. But I won't be surprised this Wollongong crowd will support them. But the Storm, they got too much strike power and they'll be a bit too good for the Dragons. And I think it'll be 36 points to 14, or 40 would be a 50 plus or something like that. But I won't be surprised if the Dragons show up because they're a bit of a funny team. The Dragons, they show up and in some games and then they drop in some games. They're a funny team, the Dragons, and that's why they're where they are. They show up and then they don't show up. So that's why they're where they are, and I don't know why. Anyway, we'll move on to Sunday footy between probably the second match of the round, the Knights and the Rabbitohs. Now, Newcastle, they're on a winning streak. South, they're fighting to kick themselves inside the top 8. And now, at the moment, Jackson Hastings got a knee injury and he's still in the side, but I doubt it. He'll play. And some big ins for the Newcastle Knights is Bradman Best. Tavita Totola is back. Michael Cheekham is back for South. Rest then pretty okay. Yep. Still no Tom Burgess until if South are going to make finals, because they're still in contention for that 8th spot. But the Knights, they're on a big of a winning streak, and this is a big test for them. I'm going to go South Sydney. I think South can win this. I just have a feeling I'm going to go the Bunnies. I'm going to go, but this will be a tight contest. So there's going to be plenty of points. I'm going to go Alex Johnston to score the first try, like he did last week. But I think it'll be a pretty close game. I think it'll be by 2. I'm going to go 26 to 22. South 26 to 22. Sorry. Just got the croaky voice. And as for the Raiders and the Bulldogs, next game, last game of the round, the Raiders and the Bulldogs. Now, as for the Raiders, Sami Solo is the only one out, and Jacob Preston's the only one out for the Bulldogs. Now, the Bulldogs, They were pretty disappointing last week. They they won the second half basically. I think they won the second half. They played really well in the second half. Um, of the second half against Newcastle, but they got towered up through the middle. Tough penalties didn't go their way. They were hard done by in that game, the Bulldogs, and they should have won that. But against this Raiders team, who were given a big spray by Ricky Stewart, and Ricky Stewart went off in the press conference saying, "Oh, I don't have to explain anything. I'm just here because I have to be. Sorry, I don't have to be rude." They just walked out. That's how cranky he was. And they said they were embarrassed by the Storm. Big time, they were embarrassed. Now, they want to win this, Canberra, because this could potentially be their season-defining moment if they're going to play finals or not, because their points differential has been shocking. That's by defence. Their attack is okay, but their defence, shocking. That's why I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. This is why I think the Bulldogs are a chance in this, because the Raiders' defence has not been up to standard to play in the top four. They got the points to be in the 8, but I don't think they got the defence to be in the top 4 at the moment. I don't think they're a top 4 team with their defence. If they can show me a bit of defence in this game against a very, well, not weakened Bulldogs side, but a very undefensive side for the Bulldogs, even though they've got some defensive players there that can do the job. But it's just the system for the Bulldogs is not right. But they're in a good, even though Gus is saying they're in a good system, but how is it a good system? It's not working for the players. It's not working for the players because we've seen them get out of position. We've seen them getting towered up through the middle. Why are you saying that? They've got a good system there and all that. It's not, obviously something's not working there, Gus. Anyway, nothing about not going into all that statistics and stuff that Gus is getting it wrong, which he is. But anyway, I'm gonna go the Raiders here. I think the Raiders at home, they're going to be tough to beat and they want to show something. But the Bulldogs, I reckon the Bulldogs are still a chance in this one because the Raiders' defence, like I said, are shocking because they're on. What are they on now? Minus 120. Minus 120. If they lose to Canterbury here, they'll drop down. So South win and the Raiders lose. All the Cowboys win. Newcastle win. Eels win. The Eels can still finish 6th at the end of this because if the Raiders lose the next couple of games, they'll drop down to at least 8th or 9th at the end of this. They have to win this game, Canberra. They have to win this game. It's a must-win game for them because their season could be thrown out of the water. So I'm going to go the Raiders 34-30. Like in Magic Round, I think the Bulldogs, they've got points in them. We know that. They've got players that can produce points. The Raiders, they got I'd say, at the moment, the 4th worst defensive team in the comp, the way they're going. Because it's minus 120 for them. They need to score. They need to show something in defence if they want to make the top 4 and improve their points differential before finals. So, but I'm going to go Jordan Rapana to score first for Canberra. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. If you, sorry, whoops, hang on a sec. You're going too quickly there, Batman. What are you doing? Forgot about supercars, you bullfed. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for supercars. I was. I was just, I almost forgot all about it. Yep. This weekend is the Bend OTR Super Sprint. We're almost 3 rounds away. We've got basically 5 rounds left. We're already over halfway. Already. We're on the OTR, Ben OTR Super Sprint, and then we're only basically nearly 2 rounds away from the Repco Bathurst 1000, the 60th anniversary of the Repco Bathurst 1000, and we're almost the Penrite Oil, the return of the Penrite Oil Sandown 500, and a lot of these guys are making their 500 debuts, which will work for Red Bull because they've got it'll work for Shell, it'll work for Red Bull, it'll work for Team 18. Who would it work for? Tickford, 100%, and I think Brad Jones Racing as well. So the guys that are leading the championship, Will Brown and Brody Kostecki. Well, actually, I think Will and Brody have been in the So we'll work for Erebus. It will work for Erebus. So some of these guys haven't done a Sandown 500 where Brody will and all that, but we're not going to get into that until September. So which is during the final series. So anyway, my race victors for this weekend. It's a very tough place on tyres, which will work in Van Gisbergen's hands, who's leaving the team at the end of the year going into NASCAR. And there's a big shock. Will Brown will go to Triple Eight Race Engineering to replace the man on screen, Shane Van Gisbergen, right next to him. So, but Shane will go well, and he showed that at Chicago, and he showed it again this weekend by finishing 10th at Indianapolis. So, if Shane continues well, he will win this big time. He will absolutely put them to sleep, into bed. But my 3 winners this weekend and 3 pole sitters, I reckon the Mustangs, Cam Waters, Anton De Pasquale, and possibly even Brody Kostecki could be the pole sitter in this one because there's not much in it between the teammates, Shane and Brock. There's nothing in it still. Mostert's still in the fight. Heingartner's still in the fight. Waters is still in the fight. Basically, all the way up to 10th. So Winterbottom can still win this thing if he picks up some form. Well, probably not because my pole sitters, Cam Waters will be pole sitter for the first one. Anton De Pasquale, who's picking up some form and getting used to the new car. Possibly Will Davison too. So watch out for the Shell cars to get back into fighting for the team's championship and possibly even for the title at the end of the year because if Anton goes on a run in the back end of this year, he can possibly take it to Brody and Shane at the end of the year and possibly the young guns of Will Brown and Brody Kostecki and Brock Feeney. So, but my winners, I can't go past Van Gisbergen because this place is so hard on tyres during the race because we see people pit early. We see people, and we saw that last year. Shane was still going quick later in the race, which made him pit much later than his team, much later than his competitors, and had a big lead on him before the pit stop, and came out straight ahead of them with about a 3-second gap already. And he got the fastest lap on the last lap. So I'll be watching out for Shane this weekend. But my four contenders to challenge Shane will be Brody, Will, Anton, actually 5, I should say, Waters. There is actually some prize packets in there. Feeney, my surprise packet to challenge James Golding, Thomas Randall, Andre Heimgartner, because his form at this racetrack is incredible. He got his first win there. He might get his second win there. Who knows? Jack LeBrock, who's been outstanding, because he's basically, where is he? 8th in the championship at the moment. So he's been doing really well. His young teammate Cam Hill has been doing really well. So that's my prediction. So as I said before, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. That's the end of the video. If you want to see any more, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you next time. Remember, it's not who you are that's underneath. It's what you do that defines you. Cheers. Sorry. Oops. Cheers.